I'd just like to say a big hello to Maria, and I hope you're crafting along to this video today and that you enjoy it. Lots of love. Hello ladies, it's Ruby. Today's the day that we're going to be doing the tutorial on the embroidery thread method through the bobbin, but I just thought I'd show you a couple of things before we start doing that. Here in front of me I have a very pretty transfer, like a t-shirt transfer, and I've been buying these because I do feel that they're really vintage looking and they're pretty. And I bought these awfully cute bunny ones as well, little rabbits, which would look lovely on in a book or cards or anything like that. But they're just transfers, that's all they are, and you iron them on and they're very vintage looking. And I actually scruffed that one up a bit just to make it look more vintage on calico. I absolutely love calico, it's such a versatile fabric. So that was that, and then when I'd finished my video yesterday, I did some pockets for the book, so with some linen fabric, which is just gorgeous. There's a button going to go there. I'll just go through these quickly. That's a double pocket there and there. That's a little postage stamp which I took from the fabric, which you saw on my desk yesterday, which was this fabric. And there was actually quite a few of these peacocks on, so I took some of these stamps and things off and used it on the double pocketed that's going in the book. I made this one with some really vintagey looking fabric. Absolutely adore that fabric, I think it's so pretty. And again, another butterfly. This came from the fabric, and I've layered it on top of other fabric and put some rickrack up there, and I layered that on top of this by cutting that from the big piece and putting it on there. That's going in the book. Of course, you've seen that yesterday with the card, and then the book itself. Now what I did was, I think this is really pretty, the cards that I had, which I showed you yesterday. Oh yeah, there's another transfer. I'm into these at the moment. Iron-on transfers, they look fabulous in books. They really do. Okay, the ones I had yesterday were a little bit shiny, and a lovely lady has said to me to use some gesso and that would take the shine off of them. And I think that's a really good idea. I've never used it before, but I'm going to have a look into it. So what I did with the shiny ones was I cut them up, and the flowers, picked the flowers out that I liked and made like a 3D effect, like a mixed media rather, that looks quite old, but that is genuinely old fabric, and some rickrack at the top, and I think that looks lovely, and that's going to be a pocket for the book, or perhaps even a page in the book, which will look lovely. Another pocket that I made, there's a button going to go on there. Very deep pockets, I love deep pockets. You saw that yesterday with the method that we're going to be doing together today, and you saw that yesterday. So just want to show you this gorgeousness. I got this very cheaply on eBay. It's ribbon work, and it's actually a table runner. So I'm going to use this in the book and also share it as well. So I think there's 4 or 5 of those. It's quite a large table runner with lots of lace around it. It's beautiful and it's very vintage, and the ribbon work is very pretty. I also managed, this arrived yesterday, no glue sticks by the way. My hubby bought me 4 on the way home because I said just get me 4 because I've ordered loads. So I bought this really stunning old table runner, I guess, and it would make a beautiful cover in itself for a book, wouldn't it? It would be an awfully big book, and I don't think I'd like to do a book that big. I used to do them pretty large, but I'm into the smaller books now. I think they're far more pretty. Lastly, before we get into our tutorial, some handmade crocheted, very rustic looking flowers, so I can add those into the book perhaps as well. So it's going to have quite a lot in it, and I'm doing a swap at the moment with Angel Dream Crafts, and I've never done a swap before. So I think what we should do now is, I think we should do the tutorial. Okay, boom, just like that, the machine appeared. Right, let's get on with this tutorial. Okay, to start with, I've picked some pretty heavy layered fabric here from a project that I didn't finish. This is very vintage, from an Irish tablecloth. Beautiful, I love it. So it has calico on the back, and I'm going to sew through that a pattern, and because that's quite boring there, so I'm going to put a pattern just across that line there. If you can see that, just along there, there's going to be a nice pattern of some sort, embroidery thread, which will be going through this. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to do what I would normally do, which is remove that, and so we don't get into a bit of a kerfuffle and get that all sort of knotted. I'll be careful because that has happened. So what I shall do is, I shall get my bobbin right here, and that one there. I must tell you that this is a side loader, not one on top. It doesn't make any difference. I've used the ones on top, and they're every bit as good as the, I call this a sidewinder. I know that's a snake, but I call all sorts of things different names. I don't know why, just a bit weird like that. So, anyway, you get your bobbin and you thread it. You just thread your bobbin like that. I haven't got my glasses on. Oh, goodness, I haven't. And normally I do it in 10 seconds flat, which isn't too bad, but I've threaded the bobbin, as you can see there. Okay. Now you could wind this on by hand if you wanted to, but I'm not going to. I'm going to pop it on the winder, just like that. Where's my scissors? Here they are. Okay, and I'm just going to grab the foot, and I'm just going to wind it on for a second. I'll just cut that bit off, which I guess I should have done before, but I like to make sure it's on. And you can see with this that you have to be careful, otherwise you'll get a knot in it. Sorry about the noise. I think that's just about as full as we can possibly get, but I'll just wind it on by hand a little, just like that. Not too much, otherwise it won't fit in the bobbin. Just cut that off. That piece off there, and pop that back in the bobbin like that. So instead of normal old sewing thread, we have the bobbin filled with the embroidery thread. Up the top here is just normal cotton up the top, because otherwise it just wouldn't sew through. So I'm just going to thread that onto the bobbin like that, so that it fits and we have everything in place to go ahead. So I'm just going to pop it in here. I love doing this. Wait for the click. Yep, got it. And then grab the normal cotton with my left hand and with my right hand. I'm going to go in there until I see it pop through. And yep, it's worked beautifully. And then just close its little door like that. And then over here I've got this, which fits on there. So I'm just going to, it's on something now. This is just for the demo, isn't it? So I'm going to turn this around for you. I hope you're getting all this. I hope it's in frame. Gosh, I'd be awfully upset if it wasn't. So we're going to go down here now, and this is what we're going to do. Oh gosh, it's only just a straight one. Look, it's I didn't put it on anything fancy. It's a straight one, but you get my message with the. I'll do it again, and I'll do it with a more fancy one. It has worked. It's livened that up a little bit with, you'd only have normal cotton. Remember, if you put normal cotton in the bobbin at the top where the threader is, and in here, if you had normal cotton, you wouldn't get that lovely effect there across the top. I'm just going to sew through the queen. This is something I printed out on my inkjet printer. It's thicker than normal paper, so I'm just going to sew through her. There's something on the back there as well. The foot wouldn't stop. It got stuck. Ah, goodness me. So much for the tutorial. So the queen has now got that little border around there. Shall we go through the transfer and see what it does on there? Okay. All done. Oh, that looks a lot better, doesn't it? Look, hang on. We have to tidy things up, but that looks better already, doesn't it? That was just that plain old boring little, well, it's not boring, it's very pretty, but it was just a transfer. So using that method, you can most definitely vintage things up or make them look unusual or pretty. There you go. We've got all that left in that bobbin. You see that? Got all that left to play with. You put your thread through into your bobbin, except it's the thick stuff, and you put your thinner one at the top, so it, you know, clearly you wouldn't be able to get it through your needle anyway. And you've pretty much got yourself a, you know, an embroidery machine. The last one was a bit dull, I think, and I thought it would go with the, which it does, with the projects that I'm sewing on, but they're a bit dull. It's a bit dull, so I'm going to do a brighter colour for you so you can understand how the brighter colours work as well. I'm going to go back over this transfer again and make it a bit more interesting for you. There, see, look. I've done I haven't exactly got the sides right, but that doesn't matter because I could pick another colour. So just load up your bobbins with one of these, and that colour would probably look lovely on there as well because it's got the yellow in and the blue. So load your bobbin up and there it is. It's well worth trying anyway. So I hope you will get your sewing machines out, because I know that a couple of you have said that you've just let it sit there for years, and you know, perhaps you should just get it out and give it a try, and you may become hooked on it. And it's just something that's a little bit more interesting rather than just sewing. And I don't like normal sewing either. I really don't. It's something that we have to do sometimes, but I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope that it wasn't too noisy for you. So that's the end of our little tutorial, and thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day. Bye for now, and much love. Bye.